I'm only kidding.
And lightning delay. You gotta go.
Yeah, right.
Gotta go back to the pump.
So is that the weirdest game you've been a part of?
I don't know. It's close. I was there in 2019 at Iowa State when similar deal, which that one, that was, I forget the score when it did get, but it was like probably tied, or we might have been losing when the first delay happened then. So that was pretty interesting too. But it is what it is. Weather, can't control the weather.
More deep balls today. Was that just part of the game plan, and how'd you feel connecting with some of the guys on those plays?
Yeah, we wanted to. We felt like that had been missing a little bit, I think, the last couple of weeks, and just especially having guys back, just being able to keep the receivers fresh, kind of allows you to send it downfield a little bit more. And with how we run the ball, how our offense is, we need to have that part of our a part of our. What am I looking for here? Like a card in our deck. Needs to be a part of our repertoire. Thank you. Long day. But yeah, so just, I'm sure there's going to be some stuff to clean up, but felt good to hit on a couple of them, or at least one.
Did it feel like the COVID year a little bit there in the stands?
It did. I was joking around when we got back out the fourth time. It felt like COVID. It's weird. Definitely weird.
What did you guys do to keep yourselves up mentally and keep in focus for this thing?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just when you're in the locker room, especially when it's, it's not just like 30 minutes. There was that one where we came in, they said 90 plus. You just kind of start messing around, joking around in the locker room. You got to take your mind off it. You can't be playing the game for, 7 hours or whatever. You got to totally, guys are playing cards. I was playing games on my phone with other guys. Just anything you can to keep your mind just free is good. Just you got to protect your focus. You only have so much. So.
What game?
It's Stumble Guys. It's like the phone version of Fall Guys, which is I don't know if any of you guys play it. But Scott, you probably. No.
Have you ever had a rain delay game before, Spencer?
Not
high school or anywhere?
No, not as a starter. No. I was the backup in 19 when that Iowa State game got canceled or postponed, I should say, for 2-3 hours, whatever it was. But yeah, it's the first one playing.
It looked like you guys were able to use 11 personnel. I think your first big pass was out of that grouping. How good did it feel just to be able to use something that was kind of your primary formation last few years?
Yeah, it's huge. It's just great seeing some guys back in the huddle. It's been a while. Nico's like my best friend, so it's always great seeing him back in the huddle, and great to get Keegan back out there too, and get Brody more involved, and I think that just allows us to be more multiple and probably less predictable. Just having the flexibility there with personnel.
Spencer, Kaleb Johnson, the two big runs. That's sort of what you've been seeing from him basically since he got on campus in December. Kind of glimpses of that.
Yeah, no, I vividly remember our first day at camp. We were in shells, so that's like we're not wearing pads, and this dude was running through tackles and stuff, which is kind of like the unwritten rule of what you don't do in shells. Just like you don't want to get anyone hurt, but so yeah, I knew that was coming. He's a really really good player, especially for a freshman, and just got to keep building. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of really good stuff on tape for him, and probably some stuff he should clean up, and sky's the limit for him though.
Okay, thanks, Spencer.
Great.
Yeah, it was a long mental battle. Obviously, just sitting in the locker room for a while, but we all had to stay focused, stay locked in, and finish the job that we started.
I heard people were playing cards, playing games. What were you doing?
Yeah, I was just kind of hanging out. I was watching them do that stuff, trying to stay focused, think of some things that they could do to hurt us here when we got back out there. But ultimately, I think all the guys were a little loose, but we still knew that we still had a game to finish.
When you look at the way the defense played against the team that has scored quite a few points so far this year, what do you think was kind of the key in imposing your will, really?
Yeah, I think just our alignment keys responsibility. That's our kind of our three main points that we lock in on. We practice hard during the week just to come out and play hard like we did today. So I think everybody was just doing their job out there today. That's what we try to do every week.
Your interception right there on the sideline, I mean, kind of run through it, and then were you sure you had your feet in, or were you kind of?
Yeah, I thought I did, but then I looked up at the replay and I wasn't so sure, but good thing I did. But really, I was just playing in my zone, trying to do my job, and the ball found me, I guess.
You almost had one right out of the gate, too.
Yeah.
You reliving that one a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to do my push-ups for that one. It's a little wet, but there's no excuse for that one. I should have had that one.
What does shutout mean?
It's really cool. It's kind of our standard. We don't want to give up any points in any games. So it's really just comes down to each person doing their job out there, and we did that. We still have some things that we can tweak and fix up for the next game.
I mean, what's that say about your defense that you guys can, go on the field, go off the field, go back on? You guys just seem like you could flip on and off the switch without being locked in and kind of knowing when to loosen up in the locker room.
Yeah, I think that comes with how Coach Parker coaches us. He makes sure that we're always locked in. He was checking in on us, during the rain delays in there, and stuff like that, making sure that everybody was ready to go and coming up with some things that could possibly hurt us when we got back out there. So I think it comes down to him, and then just the leadership that we have on the defensive side of the ball. That too, just everybody staying focused.
How much of a learning experience have these last 3 games been?
Yeah, it's been a huge learning experience. I think my first game, I was a little uptight, a little nervous, but I'm starting to get more and more comfortable as the season's going on here. So hopefully we just keep preparing, keep going, and looking forward to starting Big Ten play.
Okay, thanks, Cooper.
Thanks.
What was that play design, and then how do you think you executed it?
Yeah, so we kind of ran the same play last week, and I came short on it, and I fell. But this week it was really just a jet sweep action, and then I saw open green grass, and then Spencer delivered a great ball, and we scored there. All around, just great execution.
What was a great catch? You nervous about catching that one? I mean, it looked like you had to go.
Not at all. I try to treat the game just like practice, but so I know Spence was going to put it out there for me. I know there was no one around me, so I just wanted to make sure I secured it and came down with it.
Was there some relief when Kaleb got sprung that touchdown? I think it was off your punt return, actually, 40 yards, and all of a sudden, boom, you guys are ahead 7-0.
For sure. I think the whole unit together. I think we just felt cohesive, and I think everything just clicked today, and it just felt really good to be out there. It was really fun, and yeah, it was definitely exciting for Kaleb as a true freshman to get 2 touchdowns tonight.
Was it good for you to be back out there with some of your receivers? Just to kind of be able to have that full arsenal of plays that you had last year.
For sure. I think anytime you get some guys that have been out that have game experience back in, it can help in any way possible. It can open up the run game. It can open up the pass game. It can just do a whole lot for the whole offense, and the more guys you have, the better.
How did you stay ready during all those lightning delays?
Just listen to some music and stretch, and kind of just was relaxed. And the receivers were talking amongst each other, but we were just making sure we were poised and just stayed calm the whole time.
I know you weren't there in Ames 3 years ago, but a lot of guys then talked about getting food delivered, and you got to get meals delivered to the locker room, and it's a long time to go.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that. We got a few sandwiches and stuff delivered, but I tried to stay light and not eat too much because I knew we were gonna have to go out there and finish the game. So yeah.
I know you said you were going to do the AB celebration on your first one. Is that celebration here to stay?
I think it is. I think I had to hit it before it became outdated. So we'll see in the near future if that stays or goes.
Talk about the mental resiliency of this team. I mean, to survive a 7-hour ordeal like you did.
I think it speaks a lot about our character and our volume, and just everything we preach in our program about just staying ready, no matter the time, place, or weather, like you saw tonight. And we're just staying ready. I mean, 2-3 rain delays. We were here for about 8 to 9 hours, same with you guys. So I think that says a lot about everybody in this whole building. And just what their character and what their personality is really about.
What was it like after that second delay where you get to see one play happen and then you're right back into delay?
It was pretty disappointing at first, but at the end of the day, we knew that we were going to have to finish the game and handle business. We still had about a quarter and a half to go. So we just, like I said, we just made sure that we were poised and stayed calm in the locker room.
Arland, I know you guys have been kind of waiting for take some deep shots down the field. It really seems like Spencer got his arm loosened up throughout the game. I mean, how, I guess, good is it as a receiver just to know that, hey, you know what, the playbook is opening up. You guys are willing to take those deep shots down the field.
Yeah, like he said earlier, having Nico and Keegan come back definitely helped a lot, and I think it just helped the whole offense click together with guys that have game experience, and guys like Brody and JJ. They done a great job too. They have some games under their belt, but I think we just clicked together as a whole unit, and I think it just felt really good. And like I said, we were all just having a lot of fun out there.
Okay, thanks, Arland.
Thank you guys.
I mean, it was an awesome feeling. It was tough being on the sideline for the first 2 weeks, watching all your boys go to war and everything, and you having to be on the sideline isn't I'd like to do again, so it felt good to be back with my team today. Yeah.
It's like a foot injury, right? Like broken foot. What happened in camp
yeah, I had a little fracture on the right side of my foot, and bless you. I was really lucky to be able to come back so soon, because sometimes it takes up to 8 weeks for him to come back, but I got lucky with just 4, so I was able to play today, which I'm super grateful for.
I know your physical conditioning will be tested in a game like this that lasts 7 hours. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, this was probably like a recipe for disaster for me to come back with, you know, trying to like keep the leg and foot loose and having to start and stop like 3 or 4 times a day. Kind of stunk, but just had to focus on my job and go out there and make the makeables.
What did you do in the locker room between lightning delays?
What did I do?
Yeah.
Laid on the ground a little bit, ate a sandwich, played some games on my phone, because I really thought it was going to get canceled. But then we ended up back out there, finished the game, which was awesome.
I mean, that one long pass that you were able to get, I mean, it seemed like you took it away from the defender. What was it, like a 50-50 ball? I mean, how did that go down?
Yeah, everybody keeps asking me if I took the ball out of his hands, so I feel like I got to roll with it and say I ripped it out of his hands, trying to be all big and strong, but I really think it just went right through his hands and right into my stomach, so it's nice.
That was like the first play, right, after the rain delay?
Yeah.
Big one?
Yeah, right.
Did you guys talk about, did you know that was coming, or is that a surprise when that happened?
Yeah, Coach said we were going to throw a deep play right when we came out there. He told me to get ready. I was like, oh God, I got to get loose now and everything. I was just laying on the ground with my everything off, but I'm happy it worked out.
On a bad weather game like tonight, which I guess it obviously was, do you have to bear down a little bit more when you know it's raining? Ball's coming, do you have to bear down, concentrate a little bit more going into a game psychologically, knowing the weather's bad?
Right, yeah, see, I always tell myself, like, before this year, probably, I'd always be checking, like, my weather app and seeing if it was going to rain, because as a receiver, that scares you, you know? And then this morning, I remember, because the game was at 6:40, so you're sitting in the hotel room, like, all day, thinking about the game and how it's going to go. People are talking about it's going to rain, and then you start to, like, feel that anxiety, like, start to grow within you. But I feel like being a fifth-year senior, you got to just realize, like, you can't control the weather and you can't control a lot of stuff during the game. You really just got to do your own job, and then when the ball comes to you, look it all the way in. Maybe you got to look it in extra when it's raining. So that's what I tried to focus on today, just catching every ball.
How frustrating was it for you the last 2 weeks to be on the sideline and see the offense struggle?
I think it was just more frustrating not being able to go out there and help the team, you know. It's definitely a learning experience. I mean, we're 2-1 right now, and I feel like very easily we could be 3-0. Luckily, it's early in the year, and we're going to keep getting better every single week. That's what good teams do. Good teams don't sit and cry about a loss and think about it all year long, but just continue to go into work the next day and the next day and focusing on the little details every single day, trying to get better, because our goals are still ahead of us.
I don't know, probably won't get to talk to you Tuesday, but are you expecting a big Ragaini contingent out east?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. This is like the closest game to home ever, so yeah, my dad's like hammering me about asking all my teammates for tickets and stuff like that, which is kind of like a pain because you don't want to be like that annoying teammate asking people for tickets like every single day. But just trying to help them out because I feel like I got 40 or 50 people coming out next week. So they had a plan to like rent a school bus and take it up there, but that fell through. But I got a big group coming out next week, so that should be fun. We'll have more Hawkeye fans there.
Nico, before the season, you talked about how maybe at times last year you weren't as engaged as you would have liked to be, and you really came into this season with an extra drive after missing the first couple of games going through the injuries. That even give you more perspective and more drive to really kind of go out and crush, what could be your final 9-10 games?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like our whole team got a taste of what that's like during the COVID year to have our season ripped from us, so it pretty much was another feeling like that, being on the sideline for 2 games and just trying to be the best possible teammate I could be on the sideline and rooting for the defense and rooting for the offense, coaching up all the young guys, just focusing on being a positive leader and trying to push the room forward as best as I could.
You got to see Spencer from the sidelines the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Was he doing anything different tonight than he was previously?
I really can't answer that question. I was really just focused on myself today, just trying to catch the ball every single time. Yeah, just not worried about what he's doing, really just focusing on myself. This week we had like a big mantra was mow your own lawn, right? So Brian was telling us about this, and you're at your house and you see other people, they're not cutting their grass the right way, or they got like weeds growing out of their sidewalk, and you're sitting there talking about their lawn. And then as you're doing that, your lawn starts to get all, I don't know what to call it, not a good lawn. Yeah, so really just focusing on myself and just trying to make the makeables, like I said.
That sucks, though, when somebody doesn't mow their lawn.
That's true.
You'll find out someday.
Yeah, well, right now I'm that neighbor. I got all that trash, live next to like people that are college students, and I'm sure they complain about our lawn every single day.
That's all I saw. And then just use my speed. Touchdown, so.
Is this the type of opportunity you were waiting for?
Yes, I've been waiting for this since I got here. So.
Did you think it'd come as early as your 3rd game?
No, not at all. I thought I would be in here and do like 7th game, probably get into a blowout game or something like that. I never thought I'd be in here this early and doing this well, so just a blessing.
Well, now you're not a secret. You put something out there on tape. I mean,
Yeah.
What's allowed you to progress to this point?
Just my team. I mean, they helped me from day one since I got here. They just provided me and told me what to do and told me what not to do there. So just helped me very progress and told me what to do. And on the offensive side, and especially on the defensive side too, they told me too. So just the whole team, Coach Betts, the whole teammates and coaching staff too. So.
how does a game like this help your confidence? I think both of your touchdowns were scored like 5 or 6 hours apart.
Yeah, it was very. I love that. I love doing that, especially for the environment. So it was very fun putting my name out there, putting it known. So I love Hawkeye football.
You looking forward to the Big Ten season starting next week?
Yeah, starting tomorrow. Starting tomorrow.
Today?
Yep, today. Yeah, today.
What were the emotions like when you were in the end zone for the first time?
My heart just dropped. It was like my heart dropped, and I just felt so relieved, so amazed, and I was just ready to score another one. So it was very amazing.
What did you evaluate yourself for your first 2 games, and what did you do? Did you do anything differently in this one, or just the way you ran?
Yeah, a lot. My first and second game. First game, I stepped. I was kind of a little bit nervous and scared a little bit because I didn't know this my first time. Second game, got in there, got a little first down. It was cool. And then third game, that's when I just turned it on and just went up from there. So it was just really just me getting used to the environment, getting used to the players, and getting used to the other teams that we play. So, I mean, it was just up from there. So.
Spencer Sept kind of has seen you progress from the first day. I think he said you guys were running shells, and you said you were running through people. I mean, is that kind of what you channeled on that first run? Because I think like you said, you dodged 2 blockers,
Yeah.
2 guys, and then just sort of, I think dodged at least 2 more.
Yeah, that's what I do. I always run hard, finish in practice, because it leads to a game. So I always practice hard, leads to a game. So I did.
Okay.